Charles Van Horn Show. Today is October the 8th, 2020. I'm glad to have joining me today two of my closest friends to share in the podcast, Josh and Antoine. I'm sure you're familiar with these guys. They're pretty much a regular on the show, so show them some love, and we're going to get started in tonight's podcast. There is so much to cover that I'm sure that we could talk for hours. We haven't had a podcast for probably 2 weeks now. This will be one for the foreseeable future that probably is going to be blazing hot based on what we've seen in the last 2 weeks. And I'm really pretty much anticipating that before the election and even after the election that it's going to even be crazier. I think that today the governor, what's her name, Whitmore, there was an alleged plot to kidnap her and possibly take her to Wisconsin and execute her there as an enemy of the state. So luckily, fortunately, the FBI and other law enforcement agents were able to go and round up these terrorists that were planning and strategizing to kidnap the governor just because they disagreed with her policies. It shows that a lot of craziness is going on in the country, and it is being influenced by the President of the United States. He is the number one perpetrator, as I would say. He pushes people. He's like the influencer. He influences people to go out and do crazy things, and I'm sure that many of them probably will, they will regret this later, but unfortunately, Trump will be gone from office, and many of them will have records for the rest of their lives. So we're going to get down into the nitty-gritty. I know that Antoine and Josh, you all have things that are near and dear to your heart that you would like to talk about tonight. I have so much that I'm just going to come in and just share with whatever you guys are putting out, because I heard so much and saw so much on the news that really almost my head exploded. I could not believe all of this shenanigans, the debate, all of this. It was just really like we were in an alternate universe. And I had to take some time out and just get away, because it seems that it's getting crazier and crazier the closer we get to the finale. So you guys jump in. We're going to share what we've learned and what we've done to try to keep ourselves in a sane state of mind as we go through this insane clown posse show, because that's what it is. It's an insane clown posse show. So unfortunately, we have to watch it, and we have a means to try to end it if we go out and vote. So hopefully the vote will be overwhelming so that President Trump will be a one-term president.
I don't know about y'all, but my vote's in. I took it in, and after having 2 issues, I finally, on the third time, I finally got a vote in this thing.
Good for you.
So I'm done.
I have to.
Yeah.
Good for both of you.
I have to. I've done mine.
Good for both of you. I'm sort of from the old school. I got to stand in the line. I got to go there and make sure that mine actually goes through the machine and it's counted. And I have to see it. I have to be there in person. I'm sort of afraid right now that they're going to try to do something to all the mail-in and the mail-in votes and the mail-in ballots, and try to delegitimize the process. So I'm going in to take a risk and stand in line and do my civic duty by voting in person. But go ahead, Josh. I interrupted you. Go ahead. You were speaking, so go ahead.
No, I mean, I'm just going to say, that's what happened to me. I was going to do the mail-in. I feel pretty comfortable with it, but you know what? The president got to me. He got in my head.
Yeah,
I got paranoid.
Yeah.
Paranoid, man. So I had to take it in person.
Yeah.
I took it in person. I was like, here it is. There's nothing wrong with it. I want you to double check it. And they were really helpful and nice. Good. And a couple of them understood. They understood why I came in there so paranoid. They were very nice and reassuring. On the third trip I had to go to just driving back and forth trying to get this voting done.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. That's a great accomplishment to have it over with. That you've done what you needed to do. So
yep.
So that's good. Antoine,
I just got to worry about the outcome.
Go ahead, Josh. What were you saying?
Now I just got to worry about the aftermath of the voting.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
What's going to happen after November?
Oh, yeah. Go ahead, Antoine.
Yeah. Yeah, we did the same thing. There was a concern. We went in person and went on and got that done and sat there while the signatures went on our official votes to go in, because we'll actually be working at our church on election day as poll watchers over at the UCB. So we went and did ours early, but I'm with Josh right now. I think that the election is the least of our problems, because things are really ramping up, and I don't know if the president is, and that's being overly respectful, calling him the president, is actually acting. He's acting out because he always has, or he's under the influence of remdesivir. I honestly, because what's going on right now is just totally unreal. I mean, he tweets like 40 times in 30 minutes with just crazy off the wall stuff.
Yeah.
That crap show of him coming home from the hospital, and all he was missing was theme music, standing up on the balcony, ripping off the mask, and trying to look like and it's like, it's sick. It's a joke. The whole thing is a joke, and you don't want to wish anything bad on anybody, but there are people all around him getting sick, and I think the only way that the people that follow him and are very frighteningly worshiping him, the only way that they're going to listen if somebody very close to him actually dies. I mean, literally, they die, or get seriously ill to the point where they're the ones on the ventilators, and they can't keep that out of the news and lie about their condition. And it's sick, and for a group of American terrorists to plot to kidnap an American governor.
Yeah.
Where are we again? What's going on? Is this Afghanistan? Are we in Russia? Are we? I mean, what's going on? What the hell is this?
A third world country. A third world country. That's what we are now.
Crazy.
And Tony, but let me jump in and let you get back to this after I make this statement. The Republicans are silent. There is nothing coming from the Republicans to denounce this type of activity by white supremacists. The Michigan governor, there was a plot to kidnap her. There should be outrage from both parties, but you hear nothing but crickets from the Republican Party, and this is so shameful that we are at this point in our history, at this point in our country, that people cannot even denounce terrible actions that are taking place right before our very eyes. So go ahead, Tony. I'm sorry, I had to get that in.
No, I mean, and you're absolutely right, Charles. Every day I see it, and you mentioned it earlier. It's like we're in some parallel universe, and you're wondering, did I drink too much last night? I'm really knocked out. I'm passed out, drunk, and when I wake up in the morning, everything's gonna be normal again. But I don't know. People, we want to make ourselves feel better by saying 2020 has been one of the worst years ever, and we blame it on the year. But no, it's the people in the year. Just because the clock changes over to another day does not mean that things are going to change, because it's the closer we get to the election, it's like there's this character running around like the Joker, blowing up Gotham City. It seems like we need a superhero to come in and rescue us from this mess. Because Kamala Harris said it, but we are better than this, I think.
I hope. I thought we were.
maybe this is the real. Maybe this is the real. I mean, after all, our country, you look back 400 years to when the country was founded, maybe this is what it is. Maybe this is what it's supposed to be, and we kept it under wraps for a long time, and you just needed the right individual, the right evil psycho to come along and really turn things upside down. I'm still, and as you said, Republicans, not a word. I wonder what are they saying? Fox News. Sometimes I just can't stomach Fox News. I can't listen to that. So, I'll call my brother, who's a political analyst, and he'll tell me, you ought to see what's going on Fox News. I let him tell me. I can't.
Yeah, it's too much.
It's amazing that the president keeps getting these layups just handed to him, and he can't take the ball to the hoop. Like, he just had so many opportunities to look like a responsible leader. He could just announce white supremacy. That's all you have to do. Can't do it.
Yep.
Come back after experiencing COVID yourself and be responsible and say, hey, it's a real serious threat. Y'all should really wear masks. That probably would have secured his presidency if he came up and was like a real leader after having that experience. But he came back and was like, it's no big deal. Don't let it scare you. What are you doing?
Yeah. Just crazy talk. I mean, just insane.
Whole new level of white privilege.
Yeah, white privilege. White privilege on steroids.
Get away with saying that stuff.
Yeah, it's on steroids. Yeah.
Literally on steroids, right?
Yeah, man.
Wasn't that one of the prescriptions?
Yes.
Yeah, it was.
Man. Super Trump.
Super Trump.
God.
Yeah, that's a good one. And now he's throwing a temper tantrum because. Go ahead, Tony. Go ahead.
No, you're right. I was about to say now he's really losing it because the election commission is saying that the next debate is going to be virtual.
Yeah.
He is seriously losing it right by now.
Well, guess what? The headlines just came in that he's not going to do it. So guess what? Joe Biden gets to do the whole, show, that 90-minute segment by himself because Trump said he's not going. He's not doing a virtual debate. So. Good for that.
Do another town hall.
Yeah, do another town hall. So that's fine. We don't need Trump. We don't need Trump. Everybody see that he's just a big baby. He's a big baby anyway. Man, what do you all think about? What do you all think about?
I mean, literally.
Yeah, literally. What do you all think about what's happening down in South Carolina with Lindsey Graham? And the tight race that he's in with Jamie Harrison.
I've only watched some of the highlights of that debate, and they were phenomenal. They were so good.
Yeah,
he's just getting owned every second. He can't make any excuses for himself. He just has to sit there and take it.
Yeah. And I think Jamie told him, be a man.
I didn't see that. That's good.
Yeah, that's a good one. Be a man. Be a man.
He doesn't know how.
No, he can't.
No.
It's pitiful.
I mean, in Mitch McConnell, it's seen up as well.
Yeah, but you know how that redistricting and gerrymandering has done. I think Mitch will get back in. I really do. I don't think he's going to have a problem. He's going to get back in.
Yeah, he probably won't debate because his choice not to debate is kind of like Tommy Tuberville's commercial, and I do say commercial singular because he's run the same commercial over and over and over again. And he's using the tactic of, if I say it enough, people will actually agree with me.
Yeah.
But his commercial has no platform whatsoever. All it says is, I'll protect your guns. I'm going to stand with Trump. And anybody that burns his flag should go to jail.
That's all.
And that's it.
That's it.
That's all he's saying.
He's saying nothing else. Nothing of substance.
No.
Nothing. That's all he has to say for Alabama voters. That's all he has to say. He can win. I think
message, narrow point of view.
Yeah, and I think he's like 13 points ahead.
That's it.
Yeah, that scares me. Isn't he just like he's a football coach?
He was a football coach. Yeah. That's it.
Doesn't he live in Florida? I heard that too.
Yeah, he does. But he knew that somebody in Alabama, they were just, they were ready to just accept,
What am I missing here? Okay. What?
Hate,
All right.
good hate will get you right, get you elected to a good spot. Hate.
Oh, that hurts that's true. That hurts so much.
Yeah, it's true though. It's true.
Man.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
What did you all think about?
It's the same.
What did you all think about the VP debate on last night?
Loved it.
Yeah, it was real good.
Loved it. It delivered exactly like I thought it would. Like Kamala, Senator Harris, she's just so good, so quick, and she knows how to stand her ground. I was really proud of her. She was fantastic. But she's always been, to me anyway, she's been consistently really great on the debate stage or in the court. She's fascinating to watch. I love watching someone that's so well spoken and knows how to have an intellectual argument with someone. Really great.
Yeah, she was. It was very good.
It was good, and she was not intimidated one iota by that. I give Pence credit. He's a smooth operator. He stayed on point. His talking points, most of the time, didn't answer questions at all. But that's the dance that they usually bring to the party.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the senator really afforded herself very well. She stayed under control, even though he kept running over his time and interrupting.
Mm-hmm.
She met him with that big smile, and she would say, "I'm talking."
That condescending smile was so great.
Yeah, that's
for her.
That's amazing.
Great.
It's amazing.
So, and I think what took the night though, you had to admit, after all of that, then the fly came to rest in Pence's hair, and
it found a home. It found a home in his hair.
It found a home. I mean, flies, they can find a pile of.
Yeah, they can find it in a heartbeat. They sure could.
Sense it. Even Mother Nature can sense it.
Yes, definitely. But I thought she did a fantastic job because she was able to just sit there and articulate what she wanted to say, and she did not let him intimidate her. He was doing all of the interrupting, but she just stood her ground. She was very polished, and she finished what she had to say. She brought the ball over the finish line, and I was very impressed with watching the debate. And Pence, all he could do was try to defend the record of Donald Trump, and it's a hard record to try to defend because
that's all he did. He just kept making excuses.
Yeah.
He couldn't answer questions straight. He just kept making excuses for Trump. I think that he fell right into her plan. I'm just going to go after his boy, and he's not going to be able to do anything else. He's just going to pile on excuses for him.
And that's exactly what he did.
Yeah. Can you imagine? I think Pence would have done great if he ignored all the attacks on Trump and actually stuck to policy. He probably would have looked a lot smarter.
Yeah, he would have. But it's a smart person who's able to just draw you into that web, and she was able to do that. She pulled him right in, and he couldn't help but defend the president's record because he knew that Trump was watching the debate.
And she knew it.
Yeah, he knew that Trump was watching the debate, so he had to defend his boss. Otherwise, he would have gotten a call and been called to the carpet on it.
That's a male ego thing. But
Yeah.
we go way back. I know. He got me in all this trouble, but he also paid my bail bond. Whatever.
I don't care. You shouldn't be with him.
That's right. Yeah, and they're always right.
Yeah. Another thing that is quite crazy to me is that I think the number is now in the 30s of the people that's been infected with COVID in the White House and in the inner circle.
Mm-hmm.
That number is expected to rise, and we don't know. A lot of people are thinking that Trump may be patient zero. He might be the carrier of the coronavirus. He might be the one. He might be the one spreading it everywhere.
He's a super
spreader. He is.
That's another easy cleanup he could have done, to avoid the next debate. He could have just said, I don't want to go to the next debate because I don't want to risk exposing anybody. I'm still trying to recover from my health. That could have been the smart thing to say. But no, he just said, no, online is ridiculous. I'm not going to do it.
Well, see, Josh, you have to think about a narcissist and an egomaniac. They don't think, because everything is about them.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
so it doesn't matter what's going on around them. It's like a little kid. If you take away their toy, they don't care what's going on around. It could be a hurricane attacking the house. They want their toy back.
Yeah.
So he's. I mean, I think Charles called him a big baby before. That's him. When it's anything that takes the attention off of him.
Yeah.
And obviously he has no friends, because like a good friend would reel you in. Like he should have like a PR department that's like your friend to reel him in and say, this is what you need to say. But he must not have any friends. That's why everybody's recording everything they do around you, just in case.
Yeah, just in
Your
case.
friends don't secretly record you all the time.
They know the type of person he is. They know the type of person Trump is. They've had dealings with him before, so they already know what to do. Whenever you come in proximity with him, start your recorder, because they already know he's going to throw you under the bus, and he's going to be the one driving the bus. He really has no type of loyalty when it comes to friends. He actually just chews them up and spits them out. He cannot really, he care less. It's all about him, because he is very egotistical, and he has to be the center of attention. If he can't get the floor and the limelight, he doesn't want to be a part of the show. So that's the type of president we have, and unfortunately, we're all having to endure this crazy show that we're experiencing right now, or we were witnessing. And
we all need body cams.
We really do.
Like that would be more effective than like putting money into like the police to give them body cams. We need the body cams.
We do. We really do. Constantly just record.
We'll keep them on.
Yeah, keep them on, because so much is happening. And I have a sort of a deep fear right now. I believe that if the results come in over the few days after the election that shows Donald Trump losing to Joe Biden, I believe that some of Trump's supporters are going to go out there and do some very crazy, engage in some very crazy activity. I think they're going to do some very sinister acts just because he lost. I'm not talking about turning over cars and burning up cars. I think they're going to go a little farther this time, because they feel that they have actually lost the election, not, rightfully so, but they feel that they've been cheated some kind of way. They really believe that in their minds. So I believe that they're going to start some type of activity that's not going to be great for a lot of people. I hope I'm wrong. I hope that I'm wrong, but
I don't think you are. I mean, they're convinced that they're patriots.
Yeah, they really are.
That they're fighting for freedom.
And some of them have pledged that they will give their lives. So I believe some of them really will, and that they will go out feeling that they're going out in a blaze of glory. So I'm sort of have some little fear and trepidation in that area, because I kind of know where they are in their mind. I sort of monitor a lot of them on Facebook, and some of their talk is not good. So I sort of feel that deep down within, that some of them are going to resort to some underhand tactics that are not good. I think we're down probably to the next 5 minutes.
Well, if you didn't believe it before.
Go ahead, Tony.
Yeah.
You say
I was about to say, if you didn't believe it before, if you did not believe that that some crazy people would do something after the election, all you have to do is look at the big picture of the Michigan governor, and
True.
see that if they're bold enough to plot to kidnap and kill a governor, that speaks volumes for what is out there. They can QAnon. I mean, think about it. I mean, the nonsense that people are believing in right now, it's a mess. So you're right to be concerned. I mean, loved ones and families, of course.
Shout out to Facebook for finally banning QAnon. I mean, it's a little late, but finally.
Yeah, finally doing something right. Yay, Facebook. Yay. Finally. Yeah, and as Governor Gretchen gave the press conference, I was surprised that this had been going on since April. They had just let these guys continue what they were doing. They were just building it up, and the FBI was listening and watching, and they were contacting all of these other militia organizations, and they had so many people involved who was, they all looked at each other's expertise in the groups. Who could do what? You're good at bombs. You're good at this. You're good at that. So guess what? They just allowed them to keep going on with the plan. And finally, when they were about to bring the plans into fruition, that's when they moved in and stopped them. But it's so amazing that for so long, this country has been afraid to call the actions of these people what they are: white terrorists. They're actually American terrorists. That's what they are. And there's no other explanation, no other word you can use. If you go out and terrorize people, you are a terrorist. That's plain and simple. These guys are terrorists, and most of them, they said they are, they're there to protect the Second Amendment, but they don't want you to actually be able to, use the Second Amendment as a citizen of this country. They think that the amendment is all for them, and the Constitution was written for them. And so they're trying to do all type of things like suppress the vote, make people afraid to vote, put enough uncertainty in the election that the election would seem not legitimate. And so it's a lot that's going on. So I'm glad that we're able to get out here and say a few words and give our conscience the much needed therapy it needed for tonight. I did need that.
I think your last episode did that. Shout out to y'all for trying to be positive. I think it was good I wasn't in that episode. I would have ruined it. I'm not ready yet.
We barely made it. We barely made it.
Eddie, I'm still mad. I'm gonna be mad for a while.
We barely made it out of that.
It was tough.
You tried though. You have to try, right? Like it takes work to be positive, and it's it was hard.
You do it. It was hard. Again, I thank you guys for joining me. I thank you for wanting to do this, and I appreciate it so much. And I want to just end this podcast by letting all of my fellow Americans know to be safe, be vigilant, keep fighting for justice and equality, and remember to vote. Thank you.
Salute.
Have a good night, everyone.